welcome back to exclusive tutorials. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please endeavor to do so now and turn on your notification button so that you can get more of our videos and our contents. So in today's video, we are going to talk about measure of central tendency. This topic has been a big issue for many undergraduate students, and many even graduate students have issues with it. Many O-level students also have issues with this topic. They end up cramming a lot from this topic without knowing what it actually means or what it's talking about. So if you are a UNIBEN student or a university or any university student, you are safe by watching this video. For Delsu, it is MTH 112, and for UNIBEN, MTH 123. Whichever course code your university is using, we are still saying the same thing. Now, what is central? The first word here, the second word here is central. We are talking about a center value. So I won't be speaking any grammar here. I'll just tell you what we are trying to do. The aim of measure of central tendency is to represent several datas with one single data. Maybe you have several datas, many data. It could be 100 datas. It could be different JAMB scores, but you want to represent all the datas with just one single data. That's the whole essence of measure of central tendency. Now, in doing so, there are different ways you actually represent this data with one single data. These ways is dependent on these datas, because if you use one particular way, another set of data may fail you when you use one particular way. Now, in measure of central tendency, we are going to talk about three major measures of central tendency. We have the mean, the median, and the mode. So let me quickly explain these three. The mean is more like an average. I'm going to explain with an example. Let's say you are told to move from A to B. Now you imagined, how will you move from A to B? You started running at first. You were running and you got tired of running. You ran to a point and you ran to point C. Mind you, your destination is B, but you ran to point C and you got tired and you reduced your speed and you started jogging. And you jogged to point D. Then you got tired and you started just walking from D to B. And it took you 30 minutes to do all these things. It took you 30 minutes to run, jog, and walk before you get to your destination. It took you 30 minutes. Now, measure of central tendency or mean is actually saying, okay, instead of you changing your speed, instead of you running, jogging, and walking, which speed will you just use so that you will still get to this same B in 30 minutes? But you will not have to go through the stress of running. You may not have to jog at this speed. You may jog faster than this, but you may jog lesser than this, and you may walk faster than this. But in a way that you will not have to stress yourself and run this fast, but you still get to this place in 30 minutes time. This is what your average is all about. Picking one particular speed that you use to represent this speed, and this speed. This is what your mean is talking about. It could be that you have to jog a little bit faster than this so that you get from here to here in 30 minutes. It could be that you have to just jog slower than this, probably because your walking speed was very slow. But whichever way, you represented this whole speed with just one speed, but you still have the same outcome, 30 minutes. This is what mean is all about. Now, there are some times when you are analyzing some stuff, mean will not be the best option to represent all that data. Your median will be the best option. There are sometimes your mode will be the best option. Mode is the one that appears most in all these data. If after running, you ran again, you jogged, you ran again, you jogged, you ran again, you observe that running is now the major one here. So mode would be a good option there. But this example is not the best example to explain mode. Let me give another instance. You want to share food for some set of people. You are sharing food for them, and you have 8 years, 6 years, 8 years, 8 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. And this food is surplus for 6 years old. This food that you want to share is too much for a 6-year-old child, but it's not enough for a 9-year-old child. Or let me give another example. A better example to explain mean. Let's say you have 150 naira. And your elder brother has 250 naira. And you guys want to eat. Now, this 150 naira is not enough for you to eat. You won't be satisfied. This 250 naira that your brother has is enough for him to eat. It's just enough for him to eat. It's enough, he will be satisfied. But how do both of you share this money so that both of you will be satisfied? Now, your 150 naira will not satisfy you, but his 250 naira will satisfy him, may satisfy him more. Now, how do you now balance this money so that both of you will just be satisfied, even if you're not completely satisfied, but both of you will be satisfied at the same rate? Now, the average between these two is just 200. What your elder brother will do, he will give you 15 naira there. Or it could be your friend, he will give you 15 naira. So both of you will have 200 naira. Now, if both of you now have 200 naira, you guys can go a long way. You guys will be satisfied with this amount. So this is the OSS of mean, using a single value 200 naira to represent these two values. Now let's say in a house we have children of this age. We have children of 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, and an old man, 85 years. Now there are some movies that a 6-year-old child would understand or would love. You don't expect an 85-year-old man to be watching Tom and Jerry. He will be bored. He can't be watching Tom and Jerry. But a 2-year-old child will watch Tom and Jerry and be satisfied, and he'll be laughing. Now, a 6-year-old child has the kind of movie that they love. An 8-year-old child has the kind of movie that he or she loves. Same goes for 10 years. Same goes for 85 years old. But how, and you have a TV, and you want to put a movie, how do you choose a movie that you can use to satisfy all of them? How? So the best way is to use the measure of central tendency. If you find the average age here, you get 23 years. That means if you add all their age and divide by the number, which I will explain in our next video, you get 23 years. Now, after getting this 23 years, now imagine there is a kind of movie that a 23-year-old person would like to watch. There's a kind of movie that a 23-year-old person would like to watch. A 6-year-old will not like it or may not even understand it. An 8-year-old person will not understand. A 10-year-old person will not understand. So it means that you are not even satisfying this for at all. It is possible that since this 23-year-old person is an adult, it is possible that this old man would still find a little pleasure in the movie you want to put, or would enjoy it. So it is possible. So it means that the only person that you would likely satisfy is this 85-year-old man. So because you are satisfying only one person, it means that you did not really satisfy all of them. So it means that the wrong option here to pick that value is mean. You're not supposed to use mean because mean does not satisfy everybody. Now let's choose for middle. Let's choose for median, the middle number. Now I've arranged them as in a certain order. What will be the middle number? The middle number is 8. Now when you put a movie, so mind you, when you use mean, you were able to satisfy about only one person. Now when I want to use median to observe now, if I use median, a 6-year-old person can at least watch an 8-year-old movie. It can still go a long way to make them happy. It may not be boring. A 10-year-old person, which is not far from 8 years, can still watch it. But you will satisfy this 8-year-old more. But at least these 6, 8, and 10 are a little bit satisfied. So it means that using median as our measure of central tendency, you have been able to satisfy about 4 persons. So it means that median is a good option to use in this scenario. What about most? Which one appear most? 6 appear most. So you will satisfy 6, An 8-year-old person can also watch this. But at least 10 years old is still a little bit far. is still a little bit far. So this, mind you, 85 cannot even watch it. So this 10 years old person is still a little bit far from this 6 years. So the pleasure that this 8 years the pleasure that this 8 years will derive from the movie will not be the one that this 10 years will derive. So it means that while you are satisfying this 4, but you are not satisfying it as much as the median does. So it means that I will just put 3 here, that you satisfied only 3. So it means that for a scenario like this, you would rather use the median to analyze which movie you should put. So it is best to put a movie that an 8 years old child will watch. Are you getting me? So in our next video, we are going to talk about mean, median, and mode, how you calculate the mean, the median, and mode. Mind you, there are 3 types of mean, which are the arithmetic mean, the geometric mean, and the harmonic mean. So that will be all for this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your success is our concern. Please, I would like to hear your comments about this video. What do you think about this video? And also share our videos. Follow us on all social media handles. Thanks for watching.
Learning online haven't been more fun. Exquisite Online Tutorials is a household name when it comes to academic excellence in online tutoring of 100 level students, 200 level students and college entrance examination candidates. With the power of artificial intelligence and human studies, Exquisite Online Tutorials have been able to interact with the intelligence of students worldwide, making the good ones better and even the better ones best. Just like Science Bob, Exquisite Tutorials has a great faculty of erudite tutors that inject knowledge, whether science or business management, to the cerebrum of her students. UTME lectures and other college entrance examination lectures are going on as well. Do you still need a physical tutor? No. Exquisite Tutorials got you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter and Facebook.